Hello friends, today I'm going to talk to you about Thomas Hardy, widely known as a novelist and also known in his own measure as a poet. He was a writer with a difference, and he has a very special place among the novelists over all ages. What makes him so special is what we are going to study in this small lecture, where I am going to bring home an introduction to Thomas Hardy. I have firmly believed that to read a poet, it is better you read his works, because the works bear a real testimony to the person that the writer was, to the strains that he exercised in his writings, and to the impact that he can hold upon his audience. So, we begin with the understanding of Thomas Hardy as a writer by trying to read small excerpts, small sections from his poems. किसी भी लेखक को समझने के लिए आवश्यक है कि उसके लेखन को समझा जाए, उसके लेखन में वह खुद, उसकी शैली और उसके मनोयोग प्रतिबिंबित होते हैं. So, bringing home to you Thomas Hardy. I quote from his novel Tess of the D'Urberville, and this reads: justice was done, and the president of the immortals, in Aeschylean phrase, which is in parenthesis, has ended his sport with Tess. The two focal words here are, it begins with the expression justice. Now, this will give you a fair idea of what Hardy thought was justice and what the world thinks justice is. People believe that when squaring of the deeds is done, when an act is given its due, legal due, that is justice. And in the story of this girl, Tess of the D'Urberville, who is mistakenly believed to have been a derivative of a very high clan and doomed to live in poverty, is forced into situations of high catastrophe, of high sadness, only to be worked upon by fate and chance. So much so that without being guilty of anything, she is hounded by the police like she was a criminal. And in the end, she is hanged. A girl who is innocent. A girl who Thomas Hardy delights to give the title, the second title of the pure woman. I'll deal with this novel, and it is primarily because of this novel that I have chosen to give an exclamation of Thomas Hardy, that he says that When she died, when Tess died, the innocent girl, having wronged no one, having done only good to everyone around, has to die as a culprit. So this, Hardy says, is justice was done. And this he says in the Aeschylean phrase. Aeschylus was a great writer who has written great epics in which good men have been subjected. Because in epic, the person who is in the central position always comes to suffer, struggle throughout his life. However, the end is justified in a permanent good come to his way. But in Tess, this epical character, who is more of a pathetic figure, I wouldn't say tragic, because she suffers not because of her own doings. She suffers because fate and destiny decide that on her. Fate and chance have decided on her that she would be raped, that she would deliver a child, that she would go through sufferings, work on a dairy farm to support her family, be hounded again by that man who had raped him, and in the effort to save her younger sister from being raped also, she kills the man. And for this human gesture, she is hanged. Only because society believes that if someone has committed a murder, must be hanged as well. So at the end of the novel, Hardy has to comment that it seems that justice was done. Society was very happy in killing Tess. And the president of the immortals, who is the president of the immortals? Gods. So gods ended their sport with Tess. Here I would say there is a resonance of Shakespearean concept that gods, to gods we are wanton flies. He kills them for his sport. So, because God delights in killing, so in this concept, in this small excerpt, which is Hardy's observation of his own novel, he is cynical of the attitude of society. He is cynical of the cruel working of fate and chance upon essentially good people. So we see Hardy as a person who approves of, very strongly approves of the goodness of humans, but very strongly retorts against the norms of the society. I think this should give you a fair understanding of Hardy as a novelist, as a writer. And I shall deal with other excerpts from his works, and that while we are doing this, we will take into consideration of making an estimate of Hardy as a writer. What is his position? What are his main driving factors to create some piece of literature? So here, from this small section, a small comment that Hardy makes on individuals and society. He opines that individuals who are good may not necessarily end up in happiness. And society, which is entrusted to work for the goodness of individuals, sometimes errs, sometimes mistakes in its estimate of having worked justice upon individuals. This is all for today. Thank you.